and welcome back. Today we are doing a bit of a strange build. I know I said I was doing challenges, and I guess I did the 10-minute build challenge last week, so I mean, like, close enough, right? We've done one so far. We'll do more, I promise. We've got to, like, break it up. I've got some more builds coming. I can tell you my build schedule right now, in fact. We are going to do the solid color challenge next week. And we're going to do a no mistakes build and possibly create a sim. Not quite sure. An 8 sim starter home. A base game challenge, but with a twist. The screen's going to be upside down. Yeah, because I feel like doing a base game build, it's a little bit boring. So why not make it upside down? Live dangerously, right? Telling you some spoilers here. And this one's a maybe. The no walls challenge. I think that could be fun. And last but not least, the 5x5 challenge. And then I thought maybe we could move into micro homes if that is something you guys are interested in. If not, maybe let me know in the comments, like some themes, you know, maybe you want to see me do like Willow Creek, Bella Goths area, or Willow Creek, like where Bug and Bend is, and the BFF household, or Oasis Springs. Like, I don't know, maybe you want to see me do some of the new Jungle Adventures builds. I don't know. Let me know. But otherwise, if I don't hear from you guys, I'm going to assume that you are happy with 5x5 builds and micro homes coming after my build challenges. So, yeah. So now that we're done talking about the future, I suppose we should talk a bit about the present. And I guess in the past, in a way, I tried to recreate the home that I spent most of my childhood in. So it's a little bit weird, and I don't know. It's a lot different to what I'd normally do because I was trying to make it similar to what we had in my house. There wasn't tall enough greenery to get the effect that I was going for on this lot, and also not a big enough backyard. I couldn't fit in a cubby house or like a garage. It was more like a shed, like a tool shed in the backyard, and I couldn't fit. And obviously we don't have chickens in The Sims 4 at the present time when I'm recording this. We may in the future, we may not, but I don't know. But we also had a chicken pen in the backyard, so I did my best to recreate it to how I remembered. So there's some kind of weird choices. My mum is a trained horticulturalist. She loves the garden. So that's why the garden's a bit overgrown. The plant in the middle, the big white one with the shrunken down vampire stuff and the spooky looking trees, that's actually meant to be a tortured willow. We had one of those in our front yard, and we got the big the big kind of red tree that was kind of signifying the smoke bush, and I grew daisies in the front yard under that. And we had the hydrangeas, I think that's what they're called. We had those out the front, and and we did actually have them both pink and blue. It depends on the soil levels, like they're alkaline and stuff like that. It's like to do with the pH levels. I think it needs to be more acidic if you want it pink, and possibly, I don't remember the term, but it needs to be blue to get the blue ones. And the backyard, here we go. So we also had a lot of sunflowers. It was also really hard to create my backyard because we had a grapevine kind of near where the car is. We had, it was a really big grapevine. We had a pomegranate tree, and we had a blueberry vine growing all along the side fence, like behind the sunflowers. We had an apple tree, and we had like all sorts of veggies growing and stuff like that. So it was just it was just a bit different I couldn't do anything that I could to get it working in The Sims. So Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I tried my best. Oh, and my cat has decided to join us. Hello, Caspi. I really hope you're not gonna meow. I can't handle you ruining my video. It is Friday night for me when I'm recording this, and I've had, I've not had the best week, but I'm feeling okay. Like I've had a lot of things go wrong this week for me, but I'm coping with it better than what I have previously. I think I spoke about it in my 20 Culpepper build a little bit. I was having a real rough time, and so I thank you, those people that sent me warm wishes and stuff that really gave me the warm fuzzies, and I felt a little bit important and special. So thank you. I really appreciated that, and I don't think I could have conveyed that in words. I'm getting emotional. I appreciate the nice comments that I got, so thank you. And you might have noticed all the plants going up on the front, the little potted plants, because my mum is a trained horticulturalist. She would work at like a garden store, and so she was always coming home with plants and like so many plants. And the front steps, it's like, oh, mum, you can't get any more plants. We really can't get up the stairs anymore because there's so many plants. Like, she was a bit crazy about that. And yeah, so we did, I did my best to kind of recreate the backyard. It was a bit tricky. The backyard, I had the most problems with. The front yard, I kind of got okay. But the backyard's like, yeah, there's not enough space. Why you do this? I tried though. I really did. And we did have a sink out the back. Funny story, we couldn't leave any soap out there because my border collie would steal it and eat it. Because we had a border collie. Her name was Tessa, and she was a very good dog. We had her since I was a baby. And she passed away when I was about 14, 15. She was probably a similar age. She was quite young when we got her. So yeah, that's pretty much that for the backyard, I guess. I don't know. There's not much really interesting else I could tell you about the backyard. I tried to do this thing. You'll see it in a bit. I don't know if I do it now or after I start on the furnishing, but I try to make this white vine, and it turns out kind of okay, but look, I tried. And here's me trying to recreate the grapevines. Did you see that with the little, like, wall thing? And then the purple flowers, so they were meant to be grapes. Because, like, the grapes in The Sims 4, I considered placing them, but they're not accurate. Like, the grapes we used to have, they were, like, I don't know, they were at least 6 foot tall. Like, they were a massive vine. Like, grapevines are not these tiny little bushes. I don't know, maybe summer, I don't know. But the ones we had certainly weren't. So just while I'm working on the floor plan a little bit, I'll tell you a story about names. Or maybe I should tell you stories about my childhood. Ooh, tough call. Okay, we'll start with the childhood since it's my childhood home. So pretty much we moved here when I was about 4, almost 5. My brother was not born, my younger brother. He's my only brother, but he's my younger brother. I am the older one. He might be taller, but I am still older. I'm just saying. And so I was a bit sad to move here, I'm pretty sure. I really liked our old little house. I don't remember it at all, but I remember I liked the friend next door. It was a nice was a boy. His name was Mitchell, and we used to hang out a lot. He had Gumby Cake, which was like a TV show. I don't know if it was a thing in America, but like it was green, and it turned everyone's poop green who went to the party because like it had so much green food coloring. And I remember we used to play a lot, and I fairly certain I was sad to stop doing that because we didn't see him because we moved to the other side of town. But the neighbors in this place were fairly nice. I was friends with pretty much all of them until high school. The people who lived behind us, as I didn't end up being friends with. I don't really remember why. they started saying mean things about me at school, and then I started saying mean things back. You know how kids are. And then, like, my cat got hit by a car in front of their house, and so we, of course, I of course blame them for that. As 13, 14-year-olds do, they're a bit emotional, and so I picked on her a bit, and so I'm probably a bit of a terrible person. And I've probably never even apologized or made up to her because I moved out of town, and yeah, I was not in a good space around that age. It's around when my depression started kicking in, I guess. I have depression and anxiety. I mostly manage them now. I was borderline agoraphobic, which is where you're afraid to leave the house. I missed heaps of school, and life kind of sucked for me. So if you're going through a rough patch, trust me, I know I've been there. And I'm happy to talk about it if you guys want. But, like, yeah, we're not here about that. But my other neighbors, I got along with quite fondly. We used to play. I used to play dolls with the girl who lived next door. She was great. She's doing real good for herself now. I believe she was playing hockey last I heard, and they've actually sold their house and moved somewhere else. I think they bought a property around the town. They're still living in the town, and no, I think she's doing quite good for herself. And the other neighbors who lived right next door to them, I wasn't friends with them so much because, I mean, we were kind of friends, but they were boys, and, like, boys have cuties, like that sort of stuff. I was young, and so it was more my brother hanging out with them. I preferred to hang out inside with the girls, play dolls, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm really trying to create the floor plan of our house. It's a little bit long, but I didn't want to recreate our thing. Like, those couches should have been up against the wall. And my mum, she actually did. One day we came home from, I think we came back from a weekend at my dad's, because my parents broke up when I was like 5, so not long after we moved in here, and my brother was probably only a couple months old, because he's 5 years younger than me. And so we came home one weekend from staying with our dad, and she'd painted one wall yellow, one wall pink, and 2 walls blue in the living room. And we had these bright blue curtains with a pattern on them, and none of our chairs matched. And she had a nutcracker. I firmly remember that. She still has that nutcracker. And yeah. The TV placement was a bit off and stuff, and the dining plan in this also was a little bit off to what it used to be, but this is about what it was. The kitchen was probably smaller too, but I don't know. I just made it so it was at least a functional-ish home, and we couldn't quite recreate it to how it was in my childhood, so there you go. And yeah, but and we did have lino in our kitchen and dining, so that's why I'm using this. I actually used it I think I used it in my 10-minute build, because I actually built this before, but I'm like, no, we should do a challenge, considering we did the modern starter home. So I'm like, no, we have to do a challenge. So this was going to be last week's build, but it's this week's build instead, because I said I'd do challenges, and I figured I should at least do a challenge. So yeah, that's why we had the 10-minute build before this one. So yeah, and I actually I built this on my day off. I was having a bit of a rough time, and I kind of took a mental health day and missed work on Monday. I was having a real rough time. I think it was, yeah, I was having a real rough time, and I couldn't go to work. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was too upset. I wasn't dealing very well. And yeah, it was a lot for me. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot better now. Well, I'm not exactly feeling better, but I'm coping better. So there's that. You also may be wondering why we have a stool in the bathroom. Well, one, it should have been purple, but I couldn't find any stools that were purple that like fit in that spot, because I figured, you know, you wouldn't want like a stool with a cushion on there, you know, and all the purple stools had cushions, I believe. So that's why I chose that one. But my mum had that so she could sit down and shave her legs, because we didn't actually have a bathtub, but I kind of wanted to fill the space a bit better because, again, like, it was a real life house. I was kind of trying to, like, you know, make it a bit more functional if you were to actually play this in The Sims. And this was like a storage closet. We used to keep our linen in here, so that's what I'm trying to recreate here. But I didn't know how to put linen in here. I suppose I could have put other stuff in here, and I don't know. And did you like the double freezer in the laundry? Because we had a big standalone freezer in the laundry, and I had space for two. We only had one in our house, but I had space for two here, so I put two in. And then we also had a fridge in the kitchen. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know. It brought back a lot of memories doing this, just because, like, I moved out of this house when I was 17, and oh, we're building my room. Yeah, okay, this is my room. But like, yeah, we kind of moved out when I was 17, because I'll tell you my life story. So when I was born, I like lived in a different place, like very north in Australia, called Darwin. That's where I was born. And then around when I was 3, my parents moved us to Canberra, which is the capital city of Australia. A lot of people think it's Sydney or Melbourne, but it's not. It's actually Canberra. It's like in the middle of both of them. That's why it's there, you know. I don't know. And so then we lived next door to the boy, you know, the one I used to play with that, you know, turned everyone's poo green because we had a very green cake and stuff. And then we moved here when I was around 5, and I stayed here till I was about 17. And then I'm not going to tell you where I am now, but we moved. Mum wanted to live with her boyfriend, partner of many years, and the houses, they weren't big enough for both of us. My brother was 13, so he was just starting school. Well, he was 12 turning 13, so he would have been just starting high school in Australia. So Mum's like, you know what, this is a real good spot for him to move. He's in a good spot in his life. Why don't you go live with your father? So that's we went and lived with my father, my dad. So, and that's where we are now. Although we stayed in the apartment that we were in up until late last year when I bought a house. I've been working full time, and I actually saved up enough money to get a home loan and get a house at 23, which is pretty cool. You know, if you're frugal with your money, you could probably do the same. And yeah, so that's like, you know, it's a pretty good house. So my dad and my brother still live here with us. My brother's girlfriend also lives with us, and one of my brother's friends. I call them the girls. You might have heard me reference them if you've, like, I don't know, watched any of my other videos. Oh, this is my mum's room. The previous room we looked at was my brother's room. He had a double bed. I didn't. It's because, I'll tell you why. Because he didn't like sleeping on his own, so Mum didn't want to sleep him sleeping in her room, so she just got him a double bed and she slept in there with him. Which I don't know. I don't know why she didn't just have him in his room. But anyways, that's like what happened. So yeah. So this is her room. She I don't know. I kind of imagine. Her favorite color is yellow. That's why I gave her a yellow bed. I don't actually remember what color bed she had. I remember my brother had a blue bed that was covered in fish. It had like all these fish patterns on it. It was like cartoony fish, but fish none the same. And yeah, I don't know. It brought back a lot of memories, and I felt it gave me a lot of closure building this, which might sound weird, but I don't know, it was interesting to revisit my home that I had such fond memories of it. I feel like that chapter's really behind me now in my life, and you know, I've moved on. I don't know, and I feel like finishing this kind of, I don't know, it put that in perspective for me. So we are actually finished now. I do just make some quick tweaks in the backyard, make it a bit prettier, but the video is coming to an end in the next few seconds. If you do like this, it will be up on the gallery for download, usually a few minutes after I post the video, so it's probably already live if you want it and you're still watching. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.